Hey everybody, welcome to
Hey everybody,
live.
welcome
Ooh.
to Hey everybody,
live.
welcome
Ooh.
to Hey everybody.
Oh my gosh, it was like echoing everywhere. I'm just hearing myself from multiple directions. Hello everybody, welcome back to this week's Building a Brand live series. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me. Say hello in the chat as always. If I'm looking over here, it's because that's where my chat is over here in this direction. But say hey, let me know where you are watching from. How's your day going? What are you up to? Let me know. I have just had some lunch. I'm drinking a cup of tea and I'm ready to dive into today's next step for building this freaking brilliant brand. As always, we are going to catch up on what we are all currently reading this week, because if you have not watched before, the brand that we are building is my like Bookstagram brand. It's my sort of like passion project, side hustle. We'll see what it turns into in the future, but so each week we're talking about what we are reading. We will recap what we did last week quickly in case you missed out or weren't here. I'll just give you a quick recap. I'll update you on where the brand is at right now, and then we will dive into what we're doing this week, which is the positioning for the brand. Hey Tanya, nice to see you from Sydney. Not too far away from me here in Wellington, so that's exciting. Nice to have you here. Thanks for joining me. Let's talk about what we're reading. Last week, I'm actually moving very soon, so I've packed away the book that I read last week, but I finished reading The Night Circus, which was really, really good. It was a buddy read that I was doing with a friend, and I finally finished it last week, so that was cool. And this week, I'm reading a couple of things. The Bone Shard Daughter is a series, and the third one is coming out soon. So I'm reading the first one. And then Jade War is... last week I told you I had finished the first one of this, Jade City. And so I got this one from the library as soon as I finished the first one because it was really, really good. So that's currently what I am reading fiction-wise. Tanya's reading Atomic Habits by James Clear. Not as fun as fiction, but interesting nonetheless. Yeah, totally. I have read like half of that book and then I just forgot to go back to it because I'm very bad at reading non-fiction, however much I would like to. I just always want to read fantasy books. So but I've heard really good things about Atomic Habits, and the part that I do remember that stuck out to me a lot was like the habit stacking thing, how you start with a habit that you already do, like brushing your teeth or eating your breakfast or making coffee in the morning or something, and then you stack habits on top of that to make them into easier to make happen. So I very much enjoyed that. But thank you for sharing what you're reading with me. Like I said, I wish I could read more non-fiction, but I'm not... Like, I love learning, but I'm not as excited about reading non-fiction as I am fiction, especially like at the end of the work day. I just want to finish work and read other things. I only just returned to it recently because I didn't make it through the first time. Yeah, nice. Okay, I'm glad it's not just me. Although I have heard, people love that book, so I do want to get back to it at some point. So good on you for getting back to it in the end. Okay, let me share my screen with you. Here we go. Here's Miley. So last week what we did was, if I go back, so far all together we've done like intro and goals, philosophy, we've done some audience stuff, and personality is what we did last week. So we went through the voice and tone, so talked about the personality of the brand, what it is, what it isn't, the culture, the feelings we want to inspire, and then the tone of voice, so like how do we write and how do we come across. Then we also did the content pillars and platforms, so the 3 content pillars that that I will be creating content around, and then the platforms that we're going to be using, so BookTube, email marketing, Bookstagram, and BookTok. And then we just did some general voice guidelines. We started building a word bank together, gathered some of my general Holly-isms that make things sound like me, started a no-go list of words that we just try to avoid, and then some general voice guidelines. So yeah, British English, casual writing, using first person when I'm talking about me, but then also using kind of group, what's the word for that? Like group language to talk about our the community, and obviously very inclusive. So that's what we did last week. It was all about the voice and the tone and the personality of the brand. So that was very good to do that, especially the brand voice was awesome, and then the content pillars, really helpful. I have not been very good at creating content, so that will be really helpful for when I fully get stuck into doing that. So where we're at right now, I don't actually think I have posted since last time. Let's check. I posted on my stories a couple of times, but not anything else. Yeah, no. So I haven't posted since October 11th. That's 15 days. That's like 2 weeks that I haven't posted. Again, just because we need this sort of planning, this strategy for me to be able to know what I'm actually doing and post with some system rather than just sporadically posting all the time. We have gained a few followers though. I can't remember what we were on last time, but it's gone up a little bit, which is cool. And yeah, just been posting on stories and things like that. So kind of same progress we've been going on for for a while now. And I do have this is not my book account, but I do have a bunch of messages to reply to on my bookish account as well. So yeah, good things happening. I'm really looking forward to getting the strategy done and ready so that I can feel more like I know what I'm doing and what I want to be posting and sharing. So yeah, that's what we've done last week and where we're at. Any questions for right now for where we're at, what we've done so far? Let me know in the comments if you do in the chat. Otherwise, we are just going to dive into what we're doing this week, which is all about positioning, right? So here's Miley talking about how you're not me, nobody is you, and that is your superpower, which is that quote that people say all the time, but it's true, right? Especially when it comes to branding, and especially personal brands or brands that are built around you as a person. When you are the sole person behind it, it's that is your power, is you and your personality and what makes you different. So it's it's powerful to know that just you being you is how you can differentiate yourself and what makes you awesome and what makes people want to work with you and buy from you and all that good stuff is because they love you. So we're going to be doing positioning today. We're talking about our USP, which is the unique selling proposition. Also differentiators in general. We've talked a little bit about that already, just in talking about personality and things like that. And we're also going to go into strengths and zones of genius. So I'll talk to you about my strengths and we'll have a look at that and how that's relevant to this. And yeah, my zones of genius. What I did want to do first is just go back to the goals because I had a thought about another goal where we want to be. So today I was on watching book videos on BookTube and someone recommended a website that sells bookish paraphernalia, right? So t-shirts and mugs and bookmarks I can't think of the word and things like that, and that business had an affiliate program. I haven't signed up to it yet, but I really enjoy affiliate marketing. We do it a little bit with Maker and Moxie, and I thought that actually that could be a really good potential goal or thing to aim for is to build and grow some affiliate marketing things through this bookish brand. So I think I might put that into here. Start receiving ARCs and or maybe I'll just do it as a separate goal. To build affiliate marketing strategy, because you can have like I have an affiliate code at the moment for my book. What is it called? Bookshop.org. We have a bookshop.org shop on Maker and Moxie, and so I can do that with my personal book taste as well. So I just thought that was a good goal that we could add into the goals for Books of Holly. If you have any questions about affiliate marketing or anything around that, then obviously let me know. Let me know in the chat, and I'm happy to talk about that, how we do it at Maker and Moxie, or how I would do it with this Books of Holly, or just in general, anything about affiliate marketing. Happy to answer. But otherwise, let's dive into this. So I actually think I want to start with the strengths, and then we'll kind of do it in the opposite direction, because the USP is sort of like the culmination or the final product of like what is your point of difference. So I want to do all the other things to get those things out of my brain before actually putting it all together into a statement. So strengths are kind of what they say on the box. They are the things that you are really good at. They are your strengths. Obviously we all have strengths and weaknesses, and my kind of strategy or approach is to really lean into the things you're really good at, and you're naturally going to have like a way better time, a way easier time, a way more fun time if you're just leaning into your strengths, and really maximizing the things that you are really awesome at. And so I, not long ago, about this time last year, I did the Clifton strengths test, which I had done a year or two ago, but hadn't really done anything with. But I redid it last year, and it changed my whole business because I realized that what I was doing, which was brand identity design, was one of my zones of excellence, but not my zone of genius. And it wasn't the thing that was my top strength. It was something I was good at, quite good at, but not the thing that is really what I'm meant to be doing. So I did the Clifton Strengths test and found out that my strengths, which I'll share with you here, I lead with strategic thinking. So the majority of my strengths are strategic thinking strengths. So they all sit in this, and I can explain this whole thing shortly. But my top strengths, like my top one, my 1, 3, and 4 are all strategic thinking, plus another one. So, and I have 1 in relationship building, and a bunch in executing, and none in influencing. So basically how this works is you take a test, and there are 34 strengths all together that are all broken into these 4 categories. Let me close this. So you can do the kind of basic test, which just gives you your top 5 strengths, which are these up here. Intellectual, focus, futuristic, learner, and relator are mine. Or you can do the full 34, which tells you your top 34 strengths, which I have done the full one. And it doesn't mean that like your 34th strength is not like necessarily a really bad weakness. It's just not as strong as your top strengths. So what you want to focus on are the top strengths and how you can make those better. So do I have this? Let's have a look at this. Please wait while my data is loaded. As always, any questions about strengths, let me know. But yeah, so here are my top 34. In general, so executing themes or strengths are all about like getting shit done, making things happen. Influencing is all about like taking charge, speaking up, and making sure others are heard. Relationship building is helping you build strong relationships that hold a team together, or it's also to do with like clients and stuff. And then strategic thinking is things that help you absorb and analyze information that help you make decisions. So yeah, these are my top 5. So I might just copy these and put them into Notion. Cool. And maybe I will just link to this. Or maybe just this, the portal. Because it's always really good to like recap your strengths and read into them, because so in this report, it tells you things about every one of your strengths, right? So when I look at intellection, it tells me about how I can thrive if I lean into my intellection. And it also tells me why my intellection is unique, because if you combine it with all my other strengths, it's going to be completely different to somebody else who has intellection but has a bunch of influence strengths in their top ones, right? So it's really, really tailored and specific and really insightful when you read into it. So even if we just look at this one, right, my top strength, what makes it unique to me is that instinctively you rely on your passion for reading to help you launch conversations. You tend to draw on the ideas you find on the printed page to spark discussions. Writers' thoughts generally prompt you to use questions to break the ice. It allows other people to start talking and you to listen. You feast on the ideas in books and printed material. In the process of reading, you accumulate lots of information. During the week, you reflect on facts, data, research, etc. Yeah, wow, this is really, really relevant. So I'm definitely going to take into account some of these things. Might just like copy and paste some stuff. You rely on your passion for reading. Dun, dun, dun. I'm like reading this. I'm like, man, I really should start a book club, because this is definitely like, yeah, I am really good at that. Would you use a different process for a brand that has multiple people involved, e.g. a partnership or a small team? No, so I would do the exact same thing. I would just get every executive team member. So, actually, like, I would get as many people as you can in your team to do this process. I just got my VA to do it. She was curious about doing it, but I also really wanted to see, like, what her strengths were so that I can help to empower her and give her tools and tasks and projects that she's really good at, so that she's going to feel more satisfied. We're going to get more shit done together. Like, we're just going to have way more fun, and we're both going to be leaning into our different strengths. And hiring the VA was actually part of this process, because I realized that not a lot of my top strengths are in execution. I'm a very strategic thinking, high level, big picture person. I think of the ideas, and then I need somebody else to help me make those things happen. because, oh, hey, Jay's here. Right. Jay is my VA. We should talk about my strengths results sometime because I've not looked through it properly. Yeah, all good. We definitely should. But so that's like why I hired Jay in the first place, and also like why we got her to do the strengths, because it's really helpful. So I would at least get, like, if you're a partnership, at least get yourself and your partner to do the strengths. It's really helpful for you to understand each other and to build your business in a way that really leans into both of your strengths. Or if you're a small team, try and get everybody to do it. Or just as many people, particularly the executive team or anybody who's managing people, to do this process. It's really, really helpful. And as you can see, like, really accurate and really insightful, because like already there's so much stuff in here that I'm like, yeah, okay, I need to lean into these things. And there are a few other like personality tests that you can do. I find the strengths one the best one, the most helpful in terms of like branding and positioning and building a business that you love. But you can also do like the Myers-Briggs is a personality test that gives you like a 4-letter code. You might have heard of it. I'm an INFJ, which I think is introvert, knowing, feeling, and judging. And when I looked into stuff about being an INFJ, I cried so hard, because I was like, oh my gosh, these experiences that I've had and feelings and like just my existence is something that other people relate to, and I'm not alone. And being who I am is awesome. And there are other people, and there are strengths to being who I am. So there are a bunch of other personality tests you can do as well, but this is my favorite one. Makes sense to get everyone involved to do it. Yeah, all good. I'm glad that's helpful. And I would love to know like how it goes if you do it. Like flick me a DM or come back to another stream and let me know how it went, because literally everybody that I've recommended to do this process has done it, and it's like opened their eyes massively. Some people like me have like fully changed parts of their business or added new things or hired new people or things like that, because it really just makes a lot of sense. Okay, so I'm just going to keep copy and pasting some of this, and then we'll have a look at some of my other strengths. Dun, dun, dun. Yep. Why you succeed. Yep. Even they have like some good slogans in here. Think deeply, think often. That should be my like slogan for life. Cool. And like these are good, really relevant things to me. So like in terms of Maker and Moxie at least. So I always try and like journal at the start of the day so that I can like think through my thoughts and how I'm feeling and where things are at. I am very much involved in the big projects and initiatives from the beginning, because it's just me. Taking time to write. Yep. Give people time to think through the thoughts and ideas you present, because they might not have thought about it for as long as you have. That is very accurate to me. I think about stuff for ages. My partner always gets really frustrated with me, because I will have thought about something for a really long time, and then I talk to him and he's like, whoa, I haven't even thought about that at all. And you have this whole like you've been thinking about it for months or for whatever. So he's like, just please give me some time to process these things. And build relationships with people you consider to be big thinkers. Awesome. Bam, bam, bam. And the good thing about this too is that it does give you some pointers on like the flip side of your strengths. So one of my strengths that I always notice the flip side of is that I'm a futurist, which means that I think about the future all the time. always thinking about where I'm going, what's happening next, the goals that I'm aiming for, like that kind of stuff, which means that I can very easily forget about like what's happening right now, and I have to be very forcefully like grateful for what's happening right now and where I'm at now, because otherwise I just get really frustrated that I'm not in the future already. So it's good that this Clifton Strengths also gives you insights into like how this could be bad. Not bad, but like the kind of pros and cons of your strengths. Cool. Okay, focus. Let's have a look at this. You can take a direction, follow through, and make the corrections necessary to stay on track. You prioritize and then act. You earnestly direct your attention towards ideas, issues, situations, or possibilities that stir your curiosity. Yeah, that's kind of related, I guess. So let's paste that in here. Yep. I mean, all of these things are relevant in terms of how I can sort of like run this brand, but it's just about what is relevant in terms of like how to build it and market it and talk about it. Dun dun dun. Yep. Apparently it's good for me to participate in orderly meetings that produce worthwhile results. Cool. Yeah, this is definitely relevant and definitely like accurate. And that I believe that if you think it, you can make it happen 100%. You have a powerful ability. Yeah, okay. Cool. Obviously the first strength about intellect and like reading and learning is going to be the most relevant probably. Yeah, cool. Yeah, okay, awesome. So that was my, what was that? Focus. Good. Futuristic. This is one I was telling you about just before. So I'm very inspired by the future and what could be. Very like talking about visions for the future and what's going to happen and all of that stuff. So yes. Yeah, all about setting goals, performance targets, envisioning the future, that kind of thing. I can inspire and push others to new heights. It's potentially relevant. Oh, I hate copy and pasting from a PDF. Okay, cool. We won't spend like too much more time going through every single one of my strengths. I'm just going to do the top 5 real quick. So we will do that. Yeah, here's the one I was just telling you about. Because you live in the future, you may find it difficult to enjoy the present moment. While it will always be important for you to have things to look forward to, don't overlook opportunities to experience and appreciate where you are at right now. Very relevant. Oh yeah, here's the next one. Learner. Great desire to learn and want to continuously improve. Process of learning rather than the outcome excites you. 100%. Definitely place my confidence in professionals. Yeah, cool. Cool. Right. taking action to maximize my potential. Become an early adopter and sharing and explaining cutting edge developments to them. I think that's relevant in terms of like sharing like the book recommendations and things like that. Like I am always trying to learn and know about like the latest books, what's out, what's coming up, what are the good ones, what's coming out soon, like what authors should I be avoiding because they suck as humans, like that kind of thing. So I can share that with people. And then also, as I said about like affiliate marketing, I'm quite good at that because I am always on top of like what are the best products and services and systems and softwares and like things that people need or want in their life because I already know about them. So I think that will be really good. Yeah, cool. Yeah, okay, awesome. Not so much like massively relevant in there. But I will just copy and paste this about sharing, like learning and sharing the stuff. Cool. And then last one, relator. This is what I think makes me a good like service provider. And why I love doing like brand strategy is because I'm quite good at creating relationships with people and relating to them and getting like really understanding what they care about and what they're passionate about, and understanding everything that goes in behind that. So yeah, relator is all about that. I love being like working hard with friends to achieve a goal. I like helping people. I'm quite good at instructing, training, offering suggestions to people. Love accomplishing things. Yeah, here we go. So I naturally form genuine and mutually rewarding one-on-one relationships. My authenticity allows me to build close, long-lasting relationships that foster trust and confidence. So that's what I think makes me a great strategist. But we'll see how it's relevant for this brand for sure. Cool. And then one-on-one time with people is apparently best thing for me. Stay in contact with my friends. Yeah. Let your caring show. Find places that encourage friendship. Yeah, and I do way prefer like casual styles and cultures and that kind of thing. Cool. Okay, awesome. So we'll stop there. Those are my top 5 strengths. I've kind of pulled out some things that might be relevant to the Books of Holly brand. So I can like read into that more, lean into that more, and kind of pull it all together to form like what are the strengths of my brand, and what things might I talk about in my content or I want to get across in my website or things like that. It might be, really exciting for me to talk about how I love like forming relationships with people, and that might help build the community that we want to build or form what that community looks like. Maybe instead of it being a big group, like a big group thing, it might be more one-on-one or smaller groups like this Strengths Finder thing recommends, because that's what I'm better at, right? So yeah, those are the strengths. Zones of genius. Let me just move this out of the way. So let me just explain this to you. So you have your zone of incompetence, zone of competence, zone of excellence. Oh my gosh, I can't spell. And then your zone of genius, right? So your zone of incompetence is things that you are bad at or you don't know how to do at all, right? They're things that you would just hire somebody else to do because that's their zone of genius or excellence, and you are not good at it. Your zone of competence is things that you can do but are going to take you a lot longer, or you're going to have a shitty time doing, or it's just going to be a struggle for you to do, right? For me, that's like editing videos. I can do it, but I a lot of the time hate it, and it takes me a long time, and I'm not very good at it. So when I was making videos for Maker and Moxie, I hired somebody else to edit my videos for me because it's just a waste of time for me to try and do it because I'm competent at it, but I'm not excellent or genius at it, right? Zone of excellence is usually kind of the zone that everybody gets stuck in because it's the zone of things that you are really, really good at. You can do them quickly, you can do them easily, you can do them well. People love the work that you do or like the work that you do. So it's hard to let it go because you're like, well, it's easy, it's good, it's I can do it relatively quickly. So I might as well keep doing it. But your zone of genius is the zone of things that only you can do, or that you are a genius at, that you are inherently amazing at, that you are meant to do, right? That you have a unique ability to execute. So for me, my zone of excellence was graphic design and brand identity design. That's what I was really good at. It was really easy for me to do. I had a lot of clients that were really happy with the work that I was doing. And it was just easy. And it was hard for me to let go of it because I knew I could get more clients. I knew that I could do good work. It would be fast and easy for me to just keep doing that. But after doing the strings finder thing and realizing that actually what I really loved and am really good at as part of the branding process is the strategy and the overall creative direction and helping my clients to turn their dreams into realities, right? That is my zone of genius. And so I stepped into that, thankfully. And my whole team and business is going to be bringing back my zone of excellence, but I'm not going to be doing it. But anyway, so that's the zones of excellence, genius, all of those different zones. As you work your way through the zones, the competition gets less and less, right? So in the zone of incompetence, there are things that you're just going to be competing with everybody doing those things, right? Because you're on the same level as everybody else. You're not really that good at it or that different about it, so you're just competing with everybody else. Whereas when you get to your zone of genius, that's the thing that you specifically are so good at. And so there's less competition because nobody is doing the same thing as you, or they are but it's slightly different, or that kind of thing. Does that make sense? I'm just gonna have a drink. But let me know if you have any questions about these zones as we keep going. Okay, so let's talk about the potential zones of genius that I have. So we can think about these kind of strengths that we just talked about, and it might start with like thinking about my zones of excellence, and then I can sort of narrow down from there, because sometimes it's hard to figure out like, what am I a genius at? I don't know. And it might take a while to figure it out, right? Like right now, I might not actually be a genius at anything related to this Books of Holly brand. But maybe I am. So I am inherently, because it's what I do, like in my business, I am good at building a brand. I am good at like bringing others together, relating to them, having good, deep discussions. I should also say that when I was talking about strengths, obviously Strengths Finder is one way to find out your strengths, but if you don't want to pay to do the test, you can do a bunch of other things as well to find out your strengths. One is just reflecting yourself. So what am I really good at? What do I find it really easy to do? What can I get into like a flow state doing really easily? What do people come to me for and ask me about all the time? Questions like that you can reflect on. You can also ask other people, right? So if you said, ask your partner or your friend or your family and say, hey, like, what would you say are my strengths? Like practically in terms of like you're good at graphic design or you're good at illustration or things like that, but also more, things like this, like you're really good at inspiring people and pushing them to new heights, or you're really good at thinking about the future, or other more deeper strengths, I guess. So you can find out your strengths in a bunch of ways, not just by doing the test. So I understand that paying like $30 or $50 or whatever it is to do the test might not be accessible to everybody. So just do some reflection, ask some people around you, past customers or clients, or excuse me, or family members or friends, things like that. That will be really helpful as well. And you can also do both, right? You can do the strengths test and ask those questions. You can do both along the way. So thirsty, dry throat. Okay, so other zones of excellence, or genius, or just things that I'm good at. I'm good at like making things aesthetically nice. So if we think about like Instagram, creating like Bookstagram content, things like that, I'm pretty good at like design and imagery and things like that. So I think I'm good in that way. Just looking back at some of these strengths things. I think I'm good at like sharing things I'm excited about or into. And building deep relationships. Yeah, I'm not really sure, like I said, about like my zone of genius right now. But I think that will come with time, and maybe as we start putting all the strategy stuff together, it will come. All right, so I think we can leave that there for now. Any thoughts on the strengths or zones of genius as we move on, or any questions or anything like that? Let me know. Okay, so we've done that. Differentiators. I actually am going to go back to see, because I think we wrote some of this stuff down. Not in the mission. Yeah, so the kind of unique approach is a little bit similar to differentiators, right? A little bit. So things that are differentiators for me is that I am fantasy specific. I think the fact that I have like a design background means that I can make stuff look really good. I think I've mentioned before that some like bookish things I don't particularly fit like my taste. So I think I can, something that makes me different is that I have like specific taste that I can make look really good. So that's cool. What else? I don't know if this is a differentiator, but I like live in New Zealand, which I think a lot of bookstagrammers and stuff are in like those, like America or the UK. I'm from England, but I live in New Zealand, so maybe that's like a unique perspective, or I can be sort of like, you know, one of the people for New Zealand bookish people or people on this side of the world. Yeah. Tiny said, was great to see how you work through the strengths. Oh, I'm glad. That's awesome. Yeah, as I said, any questions or anything about the strengths, just let me know. I love talking about that shit. And we do have a podcast episode and a blog post all about building a strengths-based brand. So you can totally check that out as well if that's something that's interesting to you. Other differentiators or things that make me different. Let me think. It's hard to do this about yourself sometimes. Normally, when I'm doing strategy with other people, I can kind of help them with their differentiators because I'm like, well, I think from my perspective, you know, this is what makes you stand out or this is what makes you different, that kind of thing. But on your own, it can be a little bit challenging. Let's see. I think I'm not 100% sure on like the visual direction, and we're going to talk about this next week. But I think like I want to be a little bit more minimalist than most, well, a lot of bookstagramish people. Like if I, let's see if I can look up. Like if I look at a lot of bookish things, they're often like quite busy. These are not going to be great examples. Obviously the ones I pick up are the least, but like, okay, so see this one, a lot of them have like a lot of stuff going on and it's very beautiful and very cool, and it has that like dark academia vibe. Wow, just half naked people, which is awesome. Yeah, so a lot of them have that kind of aesthetic, and I think I want to be a little bit more chill than that. These are just the latest posts, so they're not like the most popular ones. But anyway, yeah, hopefully that explains my point. But I think I want to be a little bit more like minimalist or like, yeah, simple and designed than that. Yeah, okay. I think there might be, I don't know. I will think of more. But for right now, that'll do. And I will come back to that with any additional thoughts that I think of. Cool. And the unique selling point, for an example of this, for Maker and Moxie, this is our USP. It's kind of two, but I just combine them together. Is branding for creators by creators, and also for branding as creative as you. So it's kind of like your promise or your your thing that sets you apart. So yeah, it's just like a statement that you use. You might use it on your website or in like onboarding material or on social media or things like that. Explain what you're about and how you can help the people that you do in a different way from somebody else, right? So for Maker and Moxie, the thing that's different about us is that it's by creators for creators, and that it's like all about making stuff that's as creative as you. So for Books of Holly, I wonder what it could be. I have to think. Let me just recap some of this stuff I've just done. It might be something about like for I don't know. I'm like mind blanking. I think like in theory I can think about it. I might just write some notes. So like some of my strengths were about like learning, doing stuff together, fantasy, banter for Betty's. I don't know. I'm not sure. Sometimes you just get stuck and you have to think about it. I think what I need to do at this point in this whole process is like all of this stuff that we have done now so far. So we've done like the goals, the philosophy, the people, the personality, the positioning. I think I need to like refine it all and put it into this template. Why does it do that? So I'm going to refine it all and put it into this template. And so that we have like basically the whole strategy together, or most of it anyway, the mission and the vision and everything. And then next week we are going to be starting the visual direction, and I think it'll be good to have like all of this stuff at a really good place where it feels like it's all come together. And there is like a cohesive strategy behind everything. So let me know if you would like me to do that like on stream, like try and put it all into this document and bring it all together and design it and everything. Or if you just want to see me jump into the presentation visuals kind of thing, because I can add an extra week in between and we can do all of this together. Or I can do it on my own in my own time. Let me know what you think. Otherwise, yeah, I think Tanya says, I'd be keen to see you compile it all as well, though. Okay, cool. That's awesome. Well, I can definitely do that. I think, yeah, I just need to like set aside like an hour or two to go through and put everything in, refine everything, bring it all together, and then we'll be ready to jump into the visuals after that once there's, like a clear direction and a clear goal. I think that sounds like a good plan to me. So, awesome. I think we will leave things here today. But thank you so much for joining me. Those of you who have been here and hanging out, I really appreciate it. I love having you all here to do this with me. And I hope it has been helpful, like every week, to see the different things that go into building a brand. I'm always happy to like answer questions or send any resources or things like that. So if there's anything I've talked about today, or in the past episodes that you want to know more about, you can DM me at Maker and Moxie anytime, or just head to our website and you can browse a bunch of our blog posts and podcasts and all that stuff. And obviously it's work in progress and we add new articles pretty much every week, but if there should be something about each topic basically that we've talked about so far. So thank you again for being here. Love having you here, and I'll see you next week, where we will put all this stuff together into the brand strategy. Sound good? All right. Thanks, everybody. This will be up on YouTube as well, ASAP, so you can rewatch it. But yeah, hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.